Good afternoon, everyone. Especially it's a pleasure to be here in afternoon, and it's a great opportunity to have an interview only about our teaching session. But before we're going to start, let us introduce ourselves firstly. I am Rani Galadani. I'm Vivian. I'm Kada Ali. We have Rabbani name that I am I know your salary, your mission. Okay, then I'm Sarah. So it's nice to meet you, Miss Sarah. This afternoon, our pleasure to ask you some questions regarding your teaching profession. So we start with the first question is how long have you been teaching and what inspired you about teaching?
Yes, I've been teaching for 3 years now. I was a teacher is before when I was in I just mentioned that one of the things about is lacking the knowledge was there, and with that I really saw that I go out and I finish my studies, I was sure, and after that I really realized that my teachers as well, especially high students, not just
It's so nice to hear that wonderful questions from you where your inspiration will also give impact to us because as we have heard just earlier, it was very, very nice because it was great. In fact, it was not just for yourself but also in how you give learning or how you give knowledge or even how you give inspiration to the other students or classes. So, thank you. What challenges have you solved in your teaching?
And then there are many challenges, especially that I teach in college, and I major in English subject, and in college we are given subjects that are not a major. For example, I'm a teacher, but I teach social studies, I teach religious classes, I teach environmental awareness. So one of the challenges that some subjects that I am not good or how to say, I really can tell if I did give my best, maybe my best because, for example, there's a time that I'm not in English, sometimes it's very challenging in terms of preparation, in terms of being the behaviors of different kinds of students, and of course, those students that are not educated.
That's good because despite all those challenges, we've seen the thing that you came along with that you do very well with that despite all the challenges and that is good. The next question is can you describe an innovative strategy or project you introduced in your class?
It differs from major to major program because I really believe that if this strategy works best for every student, then it might be that you want to work for technology or science. Yes, so for example, before I taught technology students, so I told them to report or something. And when I say report, I don't want it to be the terminology of marketing, the one that we use to practice the next student when in college student, personal, or something. As for me, it's okay, writing a paper as long as we're discussing, not reporting. So, for example, I'm teaching BEd, for example, like programming students. So, my strategy is that I connect it to their major, to their program. For example, what is the use of being a technology student to the children, to the church, so can you for them, and that's an example. And one specific activity that I can, or project that I can recall, like after was in my English class this year. I did it as a because I didn't like that class in Okay, so yeah, I wanted to be interactive. So my subject that time was proposed communication, and one of the lessons is I was with deliveries like based in radios, people, cameras, and so. What I did was I put different things in a box, and then I let each student pick up one, and then they will be going to explain that student thing. So you're doing like explaining that student thing, and then doing introduction, body, and conclusion. But it's not perfect because not everybody knows how to speak in front of class, and not everybody is confident. But I can say that it's a very good one because at least students learn and at least students experience learning.
That's a nice strategy. That is good in there because as we all know, especially nowadays, there are also the students or like more technology, right? And also as Dr. said, the implement strategy that is an interactive wherein you you let your students pick that one. Now with that, they can explore, they can interact with others, even they can work in independently through their giving their language or they're giving their understanding what so it's so nice to hear that.
So the next one is what inspired you to that innovation?
Okay, well, the program of the students and especially my inspiration in building sourceful activity with the students is that every one of my students at least 1%, 10% of my class discussion they will get at least 1%. I think this thing a learning for me. So as a teacher, it is really inspiration for me. If I can see what my students have improved, at least the way you point something, so a little improvement is already a really fun. I really achievement for us as teachers.
And thank you for that. Now, aside from what inspired you to the innovation, what is also the ways or what are the ways of how experience innovation?
Okay, so for example, within the education, there's a lot that I mentioned before, the energy style, apply. So it does not necessarily mean education bad, they don't have to speak, they don't have to So what really gave me, the risk is that, one of the risks is that, that strategy may not work for everybody, not every that in the class has the same labor, learning style and capability, talent, and skills, so others may excel writing, others may excel in communication skill. It's very difficult. And aside from that, if I'm going to apply the strategy that I applied next to the knowledge, then people will not all familiar and activities done to themselves. So when I was young, the process of leaders that they challenge I how do you remember to compare it might be that not everybody like that activity or that project because this would be the whole thing, right? But at least I can say that with that experience, they can connect into another activity connected to the major. For example, I really encourage the Asian students to speak, to communicate, to experience kind of activity. But later, they will be going to a big show work with they will be, as you know, get. So of course you have earning the student cost. Yeah, so honestly, it's a great benefit for students, not just being students, but of course, you can go outside as a student. And of course, if students graduate with learning and improvement of the teachers, the school also will be benefited by the pride and honor for all of that. Yeah.
Now, that's what we say. In what ways being a teacher is similar to being an entrepreneurship?
Okay, so there are many ways that we can compare being a teacher and an entrepreneur. Number one, risk taking. As an entrepreneur, you have to risk whatever you have, whatever you think might work for the business. So it could be contractor or challenges you will take the risk. And compared to teachers, of course, great teachers will take risk every day. We go to school without knowing what are the conditions for students, or the styles, yes, especially that we need different sets of students and this time. Yeah, in one day we need only sessions. So yeah, very important. That's one. And then another is, and if you have a entrepreneur, you have to be motivated and encouraged to forget about it. Yes, of course, you have to encourage your clients, people, your customers, and others. So as a teacher, of course, you have, you should also have that kind of characteristic. You should be encouraging your students, be knowledgeable, what's my activity. So there are many things that I can just highlight those two. Risk taker and courage.
Next one is how do you create value for students who terminate?
Alright, so there are many ways, but as for me, and this from my experience also, I made value for students in school by giving them all my best. So, though not everybody works, I know, though we know that we're not perfect teachers, but we really did our best. Despite our kind of conditions, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, whatever, to really set those aside just to bring with us and telling ourselves we have as much as we have to do with the students. They didn't know what we are going through, so we have to work our job and stay quality now also. I create value by being creative. Of course, it's fine. Aside from that, building relationship and connection with students, because I believe that it's good that you touch their minds, but what is really, meaningful is that touch their lives by moving their hearts and so on.
Yes, so it's good to hear that because you are just not having the value of it just for yourself, but also you will let know or you let the value of your students that they connect to yourself wherein there is a connection that through that we can show every value to each and every one really remember it always students and this intention, but also your because of your the things or because of the value that you give to your students. They can always compare, they can always go back to that because you give everything that's good at school. So it's so nice to hear. Now, next thing is, we learned already the second questions. Now, what advice makes since you experience so many things in teaching? Now, what advice can you give to future teachers about being innovative and resourceful?
Okay, so one advice from me. Number one, establish kung haano na yung best teacher, especially when you are elementary teacher. Hindi ka naman function mo, for example, get one whole sheet of paper, I guess it's challenging for us elementary teachers, but it's very and more challenging for you as future elementary teachers. And you have to deal with pupils and children. So number one is that you have to do your best and ready to delicate advice and soft advice. Second, they are receiving, right? And another is iya challenger. Kaya based on challenge. As a teacher, we don't know what we will face every day. So, for example, we have a session that we are experiencing. For example, you are in a classroom, you know, sa classroom ka, what will you do? So, face the challenge. So, ikaw, sure, you have to let them know. And though we have, as human as we are, natin yung mga fear and anxiety or whatsoever, kid need that something that they are trying to face the challenge. And another is be teachable. Why do we have being teachable? Because when you're teachable, you're humble, you can acknowledge the mistakes, because in your mistake, you're learning. And I can say that in the future, how long we practice. So if you're an teachable one, you're humble. And you know, being a teachable one will give you experience. And though maybe may mga embarrassing moments like mistakes and other colleagues or maybe their students will so you can remember when I'm saying this after that. So acknowledge the mistake and failures. It doesn't mean that teacher ka yes, that's yung mas maayo lang mo stay tao instead of answer ka or sige ko
Yes, okay. Lastly, how do you moral faith-based values influence your faith and
okay, moral or faith is so I can say that it's good to be more sure what's important. As for me personally, so yeah, being sure. Because being a teacher is not just one question. Basically, it's your gift, it's your talent. With that, your hope, a lot of advice, a lot of students. Maybe one word or one line that each student or you tell that to the first student. When ma-instinct na siya sa iyang mind na sa mga niya, graduate or something, graduation school, university stuff, yun siya, sure. Because I myself, now, even until the day, I still remember my biggest teachers who molded me with their best, and inspired me. So as a teacher, of course, you have to know what your intention is for, because every teacher, you don't have mga teachers, so you have to be innovative, the resource, so medyo important because as a teacher, you really have, plan A, plan B, plans. For example, you get TV, hindi mo lang hindi mo lang out, mo lang yung shame eyes, so that may so it's very important. Kaya naman, makausap pa rin. And then your students are working. It's very important. So, for them, it's not like you're asking for the question. So, one of them, I like, be an additional teacher and be just, yes, everybody can be a professor, lead a teacher, but nothing leads a teacher. Kasi you're faithful, gusto mo na siya
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Leah, for all your responses from the start until the end of the lesson. And yes, we learned so much from that in your business, the law of how you experience, those strategies, those innovations that you have included in your session, just to give a meaningful and impactful learning for your students. We all know that through the answers or through the responses, we can also implement that. We can also apply that to ourselves, especially since we are future teachers. Yes. And it was a great content. Thank you all again. Thank you so much. Thank you. And great day and may God bless you.
After hearing the responses of our interviewee, Her innovation reflects an entrepreneurial mindset and service oriented teaching vocation through problem solving, creativity, and even on having a student centered approach. As a student, it taught me or it gives me a reflection or it inspires me to become a risk taker and to become an innovative in all aspects.
Exactly. From my perspectives, the belief in education serves as the greatest tool for empowerment despite of the hindrances we may face day by day. As a future teacher, it helps us to become ready and active in various situations.
Also, upon interviewing, I can definitely say that being a teacher will also make you of being entrepreneur. It allows us to think critically and to become a risk taker as long as it makes us feel motivated and we know that the result will establish good outcome for students.
In addition, from the said interview, I also learned that being resourceful is much helpful and meaningful when you become a teacher. A teacher who knows what is right and wrong in order to maintain good relationships towards the students. With this, I can also say that having a good value must also be the top priority so that others may follow very well.
Lastly, as I will be adding to the reflections from the interview, having moral values of justice and compassion will directly influence my innovation, which makes me to become more adaptable and flexible in all aspects of learning. I can say that being a teacher will really connect to the part of being entrepreneur in a way of how a person handles such things. Therefore, our advice to our future self is to be brave enough to face different circumstances and continue to move forward by being a teachable and faithful teacher someday.